So once again, do another food video because I don't get breaks. Even though I'm working from home, I'm eating. Too tired to tell y'all everything. I'm eating burrito, ranch, rice. I'm gonna tell you how much as I can though, with a little bit of strength I got. Another mashed potato bowl. I mixed it all together. Everything I just told you I'm eating on right now, I'm mixing it all up. Just put it in one bowl. Maybe I could show y'all without showing you my pussy. I'm naked and I'm trying to show you this video. See if I can show you without showing you my pussy. Alright. There's a foot there. Okay, so, whoa, not that low. Like I said, I'm trying not to show my. Alright, so that's what I mean when I said I mixed all the ingredients together and just put it in a bowl. Not American style. American style, it's a very uptight culture. You gotta separate the burrito from all the other stuff. I can't talk about how the foreigners do it. Not while I'm still in the States. So, another eat your heart out, Kyle. You wanted me homeless and on the streets and hungry and starved to death, and just to have the balls tell me to my face. I bet you're crying your eyes out right now. Kyle is one of the few people that love seeing me on the streets. Domestic stuff. It's an easy dish to prepare. The frozen stuff, I put a little water in the pot. I separate the chicken patty from the bread. Because that's how Dollar Tree sells them. Chicken sandwich. You can heat them up in the microwave. So what I did instead was I didn't want the bread too tough for my teeth. Took me a couple times eating it to figure it out. Trial and error. You gotta do that with shopping in America. For anything, even your food. So took the bread, separated the bread from the patty. Put a little water in the pot. Threw the patty in there, low warm heat. I'm on a gas stove. You can do it on any stove. Or open fire. You gotta have the right kind of pot though. Cast iron for open fire. Otherwise it'll combust. Cast iron is the only thing strong enough to withstand that heat on a fire. Open flame like that if you're gonna cook outside. If you're dumb enough to try to cook an open flame and start a fire inside, that's on you. Rest in peace. You about to I ain't gonna say. Even though we're pretending like this is Germany right now. So, frozen burrito supposed to go in the microwave too. I threw it in that little pot with the water with the patty. Threw a little pouch of rice on top. Veggie rice. It's like MRE rice. It's already been seasoned and salted. What I saw when I was out, A bunch of people wandering around aimlessly. Ain't nothing. Unless you are a volunteer at a food bank. First responders, cops, all that stuff. All the good shit. Or unless you got a traditional job, which are fading away. Ain't shit going on in Chicago. Other than that. People, so if you see them men out, be watchful and mindful that you're up to no good. If you don't see them busy doing something productive. Or working remotely. Or talking to you about enlisting in the service. If they ain't doing none of that, they ass up to no good. If they're riding around looking at folks that they want to potentially rob, don't become a statistic. I want to say how I really feel about how that girl got set on fire on a train. But I am still in the States, so I would not talk about that. I'm going to talk about my mother for a little while. Disassociate, say mother. You have a good therapist, they'll let you talk it out and won't correct you. I got a good therapist, she doesn't correct me, she lets me talk it out. And she lets me disassociate, that's my way of coping with my background. And when new bad stuff happens to me, I disassociate. Mother used to always tell me watch how I post, and because people come after me, like a judge. When judges are always known for the bullies. After a verdict, judges are in danger. People basically, if you stand up for yourself, Winston Churchill said, "They stand up for yourself, you're gonna have issues." I've had more issues being a pushover than standing up for myself. Either way, you got issues, but you got more issues if you're a doormat. Mom has always said, watch how you talk, watch what you say to people, and watch what you post, because they'll come after you. Just especially on certain topics like racial ones, they'll come after you. Meaning, she meant all the above. So, my mom never stood up for anything. She used to always force me and my brothers, mainly myself, well, Lisa, you the oldest, to fight her battles for her. Which is why I'm severely fucked up right now. It's always good to see a before and an after. In the food videos, I'm going to show you, if I can, without showing you my private parts. Once again, I'm trying not to go too low with this camera. How good the meal was. That is how good it was. Looking at an empty, mostly empty container. I left like a little chunk of flatbread in there. Whatever you like to call it. They got so many different names for different forms of bread here in the States. And, flatbread. So, I keep trying to remind myself I live here because the roaches have not fully taken up my apartment, but they keep trying to. So I have to do, this is why people who live here that I'm not okay with come to me for roach advice, because I've learned how to eliminate the roach problem in moments. In moments I have got rid of that problem. Got one of the scabs to come off. I want a little privacy, so I don't have the camera angled to where y'all can see. This one is tough some bit. This one is I can feel the germ leaving me. Try not to touch it and see, yeah, you can see it. Feel the germ leaving. Right here. That's the one that I want y'all to see. That's it. That's the one. Yeah, I can feel. Let's see what pus comes up. I can feel the germ leaving me. That's what came out. I can feel it leaving. What what germ DJ gave me. So now you know why I was moaning. And that was the moan. That's like it hurts and it feels good. This is why I know it's a sex bump. It's related to a sexual tendon, a sexual nerve. I contracted it sexually, and it's not all sexual though. It's not all sexual, but some of it is. And cause yeah, it feels, it's like a sexual sensation when it's releasing the pus. And pretending like this is Germany, this is how I wanted to talk when I get to Germany. I'm running a risk, even though this is not going to be suitable for children. I'm gonna mark this video is not suitable for kids. I'm running a risk posting this way in America. But for a minute here, for a little while, maybe a long while, we're going to pretend like this is Germany. So I was molested as a child, and I was contracted some STDs that have followed me through my life that I unknowingly didn't know I had. And even now, the rashes, they come and go because of pretend it's Germany. We won't go full out Germany. I won't say what those rashes are, but you know, my mother used to just narrate all my illnesses, so I didn't know. Now I know that, and she never talked to us that way. You know, I never knew a child could contract the STD. You know, people talk to their kids like this even nowadays. They treat them like they a certain way, and they when they get out in the world, some really bad things happen to them because they were left in the dark, and that's what happened to me. So my mom used to narrate my medical records as a kid, tell me what to say when I was out to the doctors and in public, and I didn't know I had contracted a sexually transmitted disease as a result of being molested as a child. That has followed me into my adulthood. And so now, you know, I didn't know the kids can get STDs when I was a kid myself, and even in denial about it as an adult. It was more of I'm not an idiot. It wasn't a science thing. It was a denial that a child that this happened to me. So now that I'm no longer in denial about what happened to me as a kid, because I told myself, why would my own mother keep bringing me to the prostituting me, bringing me to the place. The guy was he was a well-known pedophile. He was a teenage boy, and his mother was a well-known babysitter. I'm not getting to his name, and he has a kid now. And he followed me for, I'm not sure how long he had been following me, to a couple of, I don't want to get into all that because he's dangerous. But my mother knew what he was and kept taking me over there. And I was too young to understand. I never knew why my brothers never went with me. I remember maybe once my brother went with me. But after that, he might have took off. She might have dropped him off. He might have took off. Or something, I didn't think about this till now, but the Holy Spirit is dealing with me, and something, it's a reason my brother Nick hates mother. Maybe what happened to him was far worse. It's something I want to set free about my brother and what he did that day. He was there that day I was molested. And he was a coward, but not while I'm still in the States. It's not suitable for an American audience. What happened? What did he do? And what did he not do? But looking back on it, it's safe to say this is before, it had been before Joel and Andrew was brought into the picture, before they was brought into me and Nick's housing with mother. And so he probably got taken off someplace worse, because this guy used to lure me. My molester used to lure me into different places inside this facility. So Nick may have been lured someplace else. There's still no excuse for what I'm going to reveal once I'm out of the States about what Nick did and what Nick did not do. When he, I won't say anymore, but from the sounds of it, he probably either took off, ran away during our visits at this facility, or he was lured into a different trap than I was into. I'm older now. You understand more about it. I didn't think like this when I was younger, but I'm thinking that he got worse than what I got, and he got lured. They separated us. He got lured somewhere, and this is why he hated mother. This is why he hated mother. I never knew. I needed closure all those years. I was like, why does my brother hate mother so much? You know, I'm only seeing what I'm seeing through my lens. But she said he was the firstborn, even though she always told me I'm the oldest. Because when she wanted to deflect from responsibility as a mother, she used to always say, well, you're the oldest. So she always dumped the responsibility on me. And that's a wound that I'm able to try to heal now, because I got a good therapist. So he saw a different lens than what I saw. I don't know what she did to him before I came around. She narrated that story that he was firstborn, so he seen a couple of times she slipped up in some lies and said, you know, well, Nick had it worse than you and your brothers because he was born before y'all, but she never would have say what that meant. What does that mean? I don't know to this day. You know, in my vision, Nick is not cool enough to go to prison, but in my vision, nobody knows who he was. He's that much of a loser. He's the older brother, or the older sibling is cool by default, but he was that much of a nerd to where, to this day, like all my exes, I used to try to describe him. They remember the other two, but that's the one brother that nobody ever remembers, and he always had a hang up in a complex about fat kid syndrome is what I call it. It might be a real thing, because Nick used to be a fat kid, and I used to put myself in danger until God just told me not to do that anymore. It's supposed to be his job to protect me. I used to see him get bullied at school by this girl. We talking about Nick, so she probably didn't have a crush on him. Most times, you know, that's usually what that is when a girl picking it, she like you, but I think she just, you know. So I protected him, and she never put her hands on me, but it was dangerous, you know. Me protecting Nick, and I was only about grade school age. I'm talking about a 6th grade girl, overweight 6th grade girl, and I don't want to get into all that story, but yeah, so Nick had this fat kid. Fat kid complex. He had this fat kid complex, and I feel like I had an accident. That's why I keep pausing. I feel like it'll happen more and more as I get older. If I wasn't on a public mic, I would tell you what that accident was. But since we're in American culture and there's a taboo about People using the bathroom, odors and smells. That's American culture. Odor, smells, things that the body does naturally. There's a embarrassment. There's what people don't get themselves well due to fear of embarrassment. It's not just embarrassment. It's all the above. There's American laws. You can get jailed for urinating in public, exposing yourself in public, and you may be exposing yourself to use a bathroom, but it still counts as a sex offender exposure. That's how screwy the laws are. So I gotta finish my medication. I had to eat first, and there's some things I want to reveal about this parasite, but I don't want to help my enemies. So, where are we? Oh, yeah, so Nick. That's a separate, when I'm out of the state, it's a separate video about Nick. But yeah, so we both, don't hold me to that. I don't know if he was molested. He never told me if he was. I'm just narrating what I remember about when we were being babysat by these two people. It may have been more than 2 or 3, but right now my memory is only placing 2 of them. So, and he harbored resentment not just towards my mother, but towards me and my brothers. So maybe he thought I knew that he was being molested and I didn't do anything about it. As much as I don't owe him anything, I don't owe him a damn thing, I owe myself this. I didn't know. Nick, I didn't know if you were being molested. I didn't know about it. It's my spiritual gift that is leading me to believe that it's a strong possibility that you were, and that's why you hate me and Joel, Andrew, and your mother, because you think we knew about this and we allowed it and we saved ourselves. I did not know. I was about 4, 5, 6 years old. How the fuck was I supposed to know what was going on? I'm just coming to terms with what happened to me as an adult. Couldn't figure it out as a kid what was happening because a mother forbade us talking about sexual education in our household. So me and my brothers were pretty naive in regards to sex. It's a lot of parents would like that. That's their way how they run their household. They don't want their kids knowing about sex, and then you find out about it in the worst way. And that's what happened to us. So I did not save myself and just look out for myself and forget about you, Nick. I did not know that those things were happening to you. You understand more by and by, but that would, like I said, I don't know if he was molested, but that would make sense. Why it always seemed like he was feeling some type of way towards me and my other 2 brothers. Now that makes sense why he feeling some type of way. I'm picking up on the vibe. He thought I knew he was molested. The others in the family, that this guy who molested me, we banded together in high school, and they forced me to speak out, and it wound up not being a good, healthy way to get a child to confess. But you're talking about a bunch of children who were just freaking out, and so it was one of my cousins said, "Did this guy ever do this to you? Because he did this to me," and it was this, so nothing came of it. He just said he wanted to talk to somebody about it, what happened, and so Nick never came up in that cousin therapy session. I had a cousin therapy session, and Nick's name never came up. His name never came up, and I would have remembered 2, 3 cousins' name came up, and he's like, we're not gonna file a report. We just wanted somebody to talk to. So the ones that it had happened to just wanted to talk to somebody. And I don't know what compelled me to tell them something I had kept secret so long, but I kept it secret so long, and something just said, it had to been God said, just tell him, even though this isn't a report, get it off your chest. You kept that bottle. I was high school age. I don't know what age. I'm not gonna try to remember, even though I'm recalling some memories. So this is supposed to be the food video. You know, I don't know, I'm talking about my childhood, but you know, getting your nutrients and all that stuff is all overall emotional well-being and stuff is all connected.